Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video we will be comparing Shopify to WordPress. Now, the first thing that we need to talk about when comparing these two tools is going to be the pricing, because there is a big misconception online that WordPress is free to use. Now, the short answer is that WordPress is free. The long answer is that WordPress isn't free. So let me explain. Essentially, if we go up here and we search for WordPress, we can see we have two different options that are going to come up. We have WordPress.com and we have WordPress.org. Now, to explain why WordPress is free and why it isn't at the same time, we need to start with WordPress.org. Now, WordPress.org is the actual software for WordPress, and it is open source. It is completely free to use. So we can come in here, we can click on Get WordPress, and then we can download WordPress to our computer and build our website out for completely free. So why does it cost? Well, the reason that WordPress costs is because you have to buy hosting to put your website live. If you just install WordPress right here and you build your website, you will not be able to put it onto the internet, and other people will not be able to access your website. To put it live, you need to buy hosting, which is very simply, it is just a server that you rent, and your website essentially lives on this server, and because it is on the server, it's accessible online. So WordPress.org is the free open source WordPress. WordPress.com is where you can buy your hosting. If we go up to plans and pricing right here, this is where you can purchase your hosting in order to put your WordPress website live. However, this hosting is very expensive. Not so much with these two plans right here. However, if you want to get access to the most popular themes and plugins that you would usually get access to in the WordPress ecosystem, they push you to upgrade to this business plan. We cannot install any plugins or themes unless we pay for this business plan, which is extremely expensive. There are many third-party hosting providers out there that provide a much cheaper hosting service, whilst also allowing you to install all of the popular themes and plugins. My favorite one, and the one that I personally use, is this one called Hostinger. And if you want to sign up to Hostinger, I will leave my affiliate link in the description where you can sign up and get up to 75% off your hosting. If we click on Claim Deal right here, you can see that these are going to be the pricing plans. We have this one starting at $4 per month and this one starting at $8 per month. Keep in mind that this is with the discount. However, even if we click in to the plan that I recommend, which is business, even when this renews at full price, let's say we want to pay monthly right here, this is only going to be $14 per month, as opposed to having to pay about $35 right here. This is in pounds, around about $35 for the business plan. With Hostinger, the longer you sign up for, the bigger discount you get. So as an example, if we sign up for 24 months, we only get this $3.99 pricing for 24 months. If we go 48 months, then we get the $3.99 pricing for the full 48 months. So that's just something to keep in mind if you do want to use WordPress. If we go back, all of these Hostinger plans are going to allow you to install these plugins and themes, and they have a bunch of other benefits like giving you a free domain name and everything else that you need in order to fully host your website. So now that you understand how the WordPress pricing actually works and the fact that WordPress isn't free, let's now compare the pricing of Hostinger for our hosting compared to Shopify. If we go over to Shopify and we go pay monthly, you can see that this is going to be a lot more expensive, coming in at almost $40 per month. With that being said, if you would like to sign up for the extended Shopify trial, I will leave my affiliate link in the description. And with that link, you can get your first 3 days for completely free, and then your first month for only $1. So when it comes to pricing, although WordPress is not completely free like a lot of people believe, it is a lot cheaper to get started with than Shopify. The next thing that we are going to talk about when we are comparing these tools is going to be the ease of use. Without a shadow of a doubt, Shopify is much easier to use. It is a lot more limited, which we will touch more on in the customization section, but strictly speaking about ease of use, Oh my word, Shopify is much easier. With WordPress, if you are a beginner and you have never used WordPress before, there is a much steeper learning curve. As an example, if I go to customize my website with the standard WordPress editor, I'm not going to do very well. You never want to be building your website on the standard WordPress drag and drop editor. This is it right here. We can't click in, we can't change anything around. So like I'm trying to click in and edit, we can't drag and drop like we usually expect to be able to when building a website. So in order to do this, we need to install plugins to make this a drag and drop editor. Without watching videos like this and tutorials on how to use WordPress, there is just no way that you will know things like this. So what I would have to do is back out of here and then go back to the WordPress dashboard. Go down to plugins on this left-hand side and add a new plugin. In here, I can then go in and there's a few different plugins that we could use, but my favorite one is starter templates. So we essentially download this and install this into WordPress. I already have this because this is my actual website that I am in the account of, but we essentially download starter templates. And then once we have this, it automatically installs a page builder that is called Elementor. So with Elementor, I can now open this up. And then when this actually opens, I can use this as a drag and drop editor. Now, of course, as this is a plugin, this is one of the main reasons I said go with Hostinger rather than regular WordPress, because if you go with WordPress.com, you won't be able to install the starter templates plugin in order to get started with this. Now, if this is confusing you, then I apologize, but this is what WordPress is. It's relatively confusing, especially if you are a beginner. Shopify, on the other hand, is so easy to use. To get started building a website, all we have to do is come down here to Online Store. We can then scroll down and choose the Shopify theme that we would like to use. For example, let's install the Sense theme on the store. So we just click Try Theme. And once the editor loads up, this is super easy to use. So all we do is if I want to start creating my store, I click into this section. Then I can upload an image. So we can upload this image right here. I can then click into this area and change the text. And that is how you can edit on Shopify. We just add sections down here. For example, I can add in a slideshow, select the slideshow, click in, and then customize the slideshow on this right-hand side. So that is ease of use. Now, Shopify is much easier to use, but because it is easier to use, it's a little bit more limited. So as an example, if I go in here, I can't just start dragging and dropping everything around into the exact position that I want it to be. What I can do is I can go over to this right-hand panel and I can kind of say, I want this to be in the bottom and I want this to be on the right-hand side. I want the image first. I can set it up like this. However, I can't just drag and drop and really create anything that I want to and get the entire brand exact feel that I am looking for when using Shopify. However, with Elementor, I can, because I can just drag things around and really place them where I want to. So although Shopify is more limited, it's just so much easier as a beginner. Whereas I would say to use WordPress to build your website or your e-commerce store, specifically if you already have a little bit of design experience and you know what you are doing. Because this is, even when you have a drag and drop editor like this, it's still a little bit harder to use. For example, if I go down and add a new section, you can see like the layout is just different. We have more options. We have more boxes that you don't really know what they do. Like we move this up and down, what does this do? We move this up and down, what does this do? Whereas Shopify is just laid out simpler. Like desktop content position. We put this at the bottom and it moves to the bottom. Whereas justify content, gaps, align items, we can go up to style, border, shape divider. It doesn't really make as much sense. So the key takeaways from these two sections is that Shopify is less customizable, but this can be better as a beginner because it is much more user-friendly. Whereas WordPress, if you install a plugin, if you just use the standard WordPress editor, it is horrible to use. But even if you install a plugin like this, it's still going to be trickier, and I recommend you have design experience before you move over to WordPress. So that is my comparison of WordPress versus Shopify. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.